So let's start upright on our pillows, on our blankets, that whatever gives you that little lift underneath your hips. Cross your legs or let them go straight, or sit in another seated position that you like. I don't want to pretend to think that somebody doesn't like to sit in Vajrasana. That might be their favorite position. That's sitting on your heels. So if you like to do that, feel free. It's your practice. We're just when we're alone, muted in our own little squares, we're remembering that everything that we do should feel good. If there's anything that doesn't feel good, then don't do it. You're monitoring your own body. You know what surgeries you've had, you know what kinds of things that have happened to you throughout your lifetime. You know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And that doesn't mean we should get lazy and say, I'm never going to try to squat or anything like that. But, be mindful of what you're doing, because we should feel better after our yoga class than we do right now when we're just starting. With that said, let's find the length in the spine, rooting down through the sitting bones and up through the crown of the head, opening up through the heart center. And then relax those shoulders that are so used to lifting up to your ears. Just relax them and let them go and say, oh, yeah, that's what you're supposed to feel like when you're resting in the position where you like to be. And let your arms be heavy. Make sure that you're not rocking forward, but you're sitting straight up and right at the center of your sitting bones. And then notice your jaw. Mine's already tired from clenching. I haven't even done anything today, right? Except go to the grocery store. So relax through the jaw, through the mouth, through the tongue, through the neck. Close your eyes if you like to close your eyes, and just notice what it's like to be here in your body in this moment today. Might be different from what it was yesterday. Just notice what it's like today without judging that in any way. Like, oh, I felt better yesterday than I do today. That is a judgment. Just let it go. Allow yourself to just be present to what's happening. Invite the breath into your open torso, belly, rib cage, chest, receiving the breath from the backside, low back, middle back, upper back, receiving the breath. Let it go from top to bottom. Maybe you like to invite a mantra into this time where I breathe in, I know that I'm breathing in, I breathe out, I know that I'm breathing out, or something like I'm breathing in peace, I'm letting go of stress. Maybe you just like to count your breath, or nothing at all. So we watch the breath as it flows in, and we watch the breath as it flows out. And we become fully attached to that movement of breath through the body. How does it feel to breathe today? How hard or easy is it for you to keep your attention on your breath? Again, not judging it, just noticing it. And then let's create an intention for our practice today. And if nothing comes up for you when I say that, then that's totally okay. You don't have to have an intention. I like to have an intention. I usually have the same one over and over and over and over again. It could be different every day. It could be nothing. So I don't feel any pressure around your intention. But if one floats into your mind, there it is. It floats in and then it floats back out again. And let's bring the fingertips to the floor. We'll inhale and lift the arms up and overhead. And we're not straining. Let this be a float. We're floating our arms through the air. Just another something to do with our breath. So inhaling as we come up, arms overhead. And exhaling as they float down. And of course, we feel the touch down. Rough mat, maybe a rough sticky mat underneath your fingers. Maybe the rug. Inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale just the left arm up. And exhale over. Inhale back to center. And exhale, float the arm down. Inhale just the right arm up. Exhale, float over. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to do that one more time each side. So left arm lifts up. Inhale. Slowing it down. Exhale, over we go to the right side. Inhale. And exhale, float the arm down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, over we go. Inhale up. And exhale, float the arm down. We're going to lift the shoulders up to the ears and roll them back. We'll do this a few times, more than a few. Lifting and rolling. And then hands to the knees. Let's do a circle around. So we've managed to get to all of the places that were mentioned. Arms, low back, hips, just with these few warm-ups. Start to feel your body loosening up a little bit, hopefully. And then we'll circle back the other way. And then let's come all the way back up. Let's move off of our pillows or blankets at this point. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Hands are on the floor behind us. And we're just going to let the knees drop side to side. Another way for us to get our hips moving. And then let's straighten out the legs. We'll circle the ankles around. And then let's circle the other way. And then let's sit up nice and tall. So we're on our sitting bones. We're not going to be here that long. We're just going to do a little twist to each side. So we will have already moved our spine in most of the directions that it will move. So we get that check off our list. So when we move into the twist with our legs straight, remember, we're going to let our legs just move on the ground. So we're moving from the pelvis when we rotate, not from the low back. So just let your sitting bones slide on the floor. We're going to take a big breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to turn to the right. And my left foot slides a little bit forward of my right foot. We're going to turn to look over the shoulder. And then with the chin level to the floor, back over the other shoulder. So into the neck, a little warm up for our neck here. And we're not twisting to the edge of where we can twist. I'm not cranking myself to the right because this is the first twist I've done today. So back and forth. And then the next time your head comes to the center, bring your whole body back to center. Take a breath, lengthen your spine, and exhale to the left. So your right foot is now a little bit in front of your left. And we're going to look over the shoulder and then back. Loosen your jaw. Jaw does not have to help you here. So back and forth, feel your neck begin to loosen. Notice what you can notice about your neck. It's one way, turning one way easier than turning the other way. I always find that in my own neck. And then the next time you're unwinding and coming back to the center, let your whole body follow your head. Let's come to our hands and knees. And we'll do a round of cat-cow here. Again, one of my very favorite low back exercises, cat-cow. So looking down, drawing shoulders away from ears, engage the abdominals a little bit, press into the tops of your feet, take a breath. We'll exhale, round it up. And inhale, drop the belly button towards the floor, lift the tail, lift the eyes. And then move yourself in slow motion, take your time. We're not rushing. This is a wonderful opportunity to really slow down your breath. Take your time at the pauses. You can spend some time there. It's like taking a little vacation from breathing. Let's take one more breath in and out. Let's come back to the center. We're going to tuck our toes under and either sit back on your heels, which could really be something for those of you with tighter toes and feet, or come up here and we're just going to give our wrists a little love. We'll give them a little shake, circle around both ways. That was a long time to be on your wrists. Let's give them a shake again. Just loosen them up. And then we're going to come back to our hands and do a little vinyasa side to side to get back into the hips. So the hips are going to rock one direction. You're going to look over the opposite shoulder at your feet. Inhale through the middle. And exhale the opposite way. Again, using your breath to set the pace for you. And I always like to spend some time in those in-between spaces between breaths. Let's go one more time, each direction. This is sometimes called puppy dog pose because you're kind of chasing your tail. Sometimes it's called accordion pose. Remember those accordions that they play at the polka fest? So you look like a little accordion. Let's walk our hands forward without moving our legs or hips. We're going to slide into our half dog position, lengthening the arms, bringing the forehead to the floor, maybe. Maybe your forehead doesn't come all the way to the floor. If that bothers you, put a block under it or a pillow. We're going to reach out here, feel the muscles in your back starting to engage, stretching the arms. Reach and breathe. Let's take one more breath. And then let's come up to our forearms. Interlace your fingers. Let your elbows be a little bit wide, like about shoulder distance. We're going to step back with the right foot, tuck the toes under, and we're just going to stretch the calf, the bottom of the foot, the toes. So right up the leg there. Let your head just hang, look back. You can, if you let your head hang, you can take a look at your beautiful toes back there. Try to relax that space between your shoulder blades as much as you can. Those muscles are engaged here a little bit. And then let's bring the right knee underneath and we'll stretch the left leg back. And stretch the calves, the bottoms of the feet, the toes, again, getting to all those upper reflexology points in our feet that correspond with our sinuses, our head, our neck. And then we're going to pull the knee back underneath. Keep all of your toes tucked. We're going to come up to dolphin pose, which is very similar to down dog, only we'll be on our forearms. If you don't like the way this feels, then come to downward facing dog instead on your hands. So those of you who are with me, we're in dolphin. It puts a little bit more weight into our shoulders and into our arms, strengthening shoulders and arms. Breathing, and then let's step our feet back just a little bit, and we're going to come into a forearm plank. This is for our abdominals. We won't be here long. 2 breaths. You can have your knees on the ground if you need to. And then let's come to our knees, push back on your heels, child's pose. We're going to take a little rest, put a little space between your knees, snuggle down there in between your knees. Maybe your forehead comes to the floor. Maybe you're resting it in your hands for a more neutral spine. Take the next big breath into your back. And then let's extend the arms out as far as they'll go. Tuck the toes. And up into down dog we come. Let's do a little walk. Let's remember how our hands are supposed to feel, pushing weight forward in your hands. Walking the dog here. Another opportunity to move into the back of the legs. And then we'll walk our feet forward to our hands. Hands back to the feet. Uttanasana, the standing forward fold. Let your head hang down. Look back between your legs. Now is a nice time to line your feet up to hip distance and parallel as you're looking at them. Relax your shoulders. Bend your knees a lot. And as you bend your knees and your belly rests on your thighs, lengthen out. Lengthen the spine. You're still looking down. We're going to come up, 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 up with a long spine, but we're not coming all the way up. We're going to stop here, let the arms come back behind us. So we're in swimmer's pose, just like in our table. Let's let our weight shift back into our heels a little bit. So this is for our triceps, right? Triceps engaged. Gazing down at the floor, at your toes. We're breathing. If your arms get tired, let them hang or bring them out to T for a different position. We're going to take a couple more breaths here. And then let's release by bringing the arms all the way up and overhead. And hands to the heart center. Half salutes. Here we go. Inhale. I'm already feeling some energy in my arms today. Exhale, fold. Coming part way up, lengthening the spine and then folding it over. As we breathe in, up we come, arms wide. Exhale your hands to your heart. Again, inhale and reach. Fold over, exhale, take your time. Come part way up, breathing. And then fold over. All the way up we come. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, up we come. Exhale. Feel yourself moving through space. How is your body moving through space? Lengthen the spine, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Let's reach up. And exhale. Arms here. Remember, we first see them in our peripheral vision, and then we turn on the muscles in our back by moving the hands out of our peripheral vision. They disappear. Can't see them anymore. Drop your tail, turn those muscles on in your shoulders. Woo! Working hard, building heat. Keep your knees a little bit soft. Take another breath. And then let's relax. Let's do a shake. And let's do a swing. So let your arms be heavy. Let them have absolutely no tension in them at all. They are free, 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 free. We're not swinging very fast either. We're just kind of moseying from side to side, right? Your feet are moving. And then we're going to slow it down and step it back to hip distance until you're standing still. What I'd like to try is a combination of two things. A half sun salutation. When we come up from the last part of it, we're going to move right into a balance, holding our knee to our chest. Okay, so we're going to try that. Let's bring the hands to the heart, challenging our balance. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Heart way up, we breathe in. Fold it over. Inhale, get ready to shift all the way up. Shift to your right foot. As we come down, left leg lifts, and we draw that knee right into our chest. Okay, challenging the first time you do it. Once you learned it, your brain knows what you're doing, so second side is easier. Let's find our gaze point straight ahead. Opening up the heart center, ears over shoulders will make balancing always, always, always easier. Soften your jaw. Let's release the leg, come all the way up with your arms. We'll go right into the next half salute. Exhale, fold. You know what's coming. You got it. Come part way up, breathing. Fold it over. Inhale. Now get ready to shift to your left foot. You know what's happening here. Arms up, leg up, and then exhale. We're going to grab the right knee, pull it into your chest, lift up your heart. Ears over shoulders, breathing. Keep breathing. Eyes focused on your gaze point. Nothing else. And then let's release the leg, arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, fold over. Part way up we come. Exhale, fold. And up we come all the way. Wonderful. You did it. Even if you wobbled, even if you fell down, you practiced that. And the next time we do it, it'll be easier. You made some new brain synapses. All right, let's shift over to the right foot. Again, we're going to do tree pose. So let's turn those muscles on in the hips, externally rotate. Stay on your big toe, put your big toe on your other foot, be on your lower leg, or all the way up to your inner thigh with the help of your hand. Toes are pointing down. Everything is pressing toward the midline. You're a tree. You've got a nice strong trunk. Roots, boy, they're wide underneath you. What do your branches look like today? Find your gaze point. We've got a few breaths here. Remember, we're going through that going for that threshold of 30 seconds. That's typically what we do. Breathe. Send the breath through your body. Send the breeze through your leaves. Maybe your branches want to, or maybe your leaves want to move as you breathe. Take another breath. And gracefully, we let go. Take a breath. Let it go. And let's shift to the left foot. Externally rotate the right leg. Where is your foot going this time? It does not have to look like it did before. How about your branches? Maybe you're a big fat tree now instead of this little skinny one. So what are you? Who are you? Find your gaze point and breathe through this tree that you've chosen to emulate. We've got one more breath. And then let's release. Do you need a shake? Do you need a wiggle? Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let's take a wide step, little wide, shoulder wide. Soften up your knees, hands to the hip. Here's my core exercise here, just a little rotation. So we have to use all of the muscles all around the torso as we move through this position. Keep your knees a little bit soft. So we get to say hi to our low back again, hi to our hips. Let's circle the other way. Remember to breathe. And then all the way up we come. Let's move to the front edge of the mat if you're not there already. So you're looking at the short edge of your mat. We're going to come to a lunge position to get back into our hips a little bit. So we're going to go beyond warrior one. So we're going to step the right foot back a very far way and then bring your hands to the floor. If you can't get your hands to the floor, maybe 2 blocks, we're going to come up to this position. So if hands on the floor doesn't work for you, just come to your knee. You might decide to put your right knee on the floor. You might decide to have the top of your right foot on the floor or keep your toes tucked. It's up to you. So you're either here with your knee up, this is a high lunge, or you've got your knee on the floor, that's a low lunge. We want the knee either behind the foot, left knee behind the foot, or over the foot. If you want to, arms can lift, but they don't have to. We're breathing. And then let's put our hands back down on the floor. We're going to step the right foot forward. So now we're starting from Uttanasana. We're not going to stand all the way back up again. Let's step the left foot back. So now you know we need a nice wide step, knee over ankle or slightly behind. Your left knee can come to the floor or it can stay up like mine in the high lunge. We want to drop the tail down. This is where you're feeling the stretch, the front of the left thigh now. And of course, your legs are getting nice and strong by holding you in this position. Let's lift up the arms if that feels comfortable for you. If not, keep them low. Anytime we lift up our arms, they're getting stronger. So we're paying attention to them today. Breathing. And then we're going to bring our hands back to the floor. And instead of stepping forward, we're going to step back into down dog again. Inhale into plank. And exhale into dog. Your choice might be to inhale into half plank, which would be this on your knees. Your choice might be to stay in downward facing dog. Some of you might even choose, oh my goodness, to stay in plank. We're going to go back and forth 2 more times. So plank on the inhale, dog on the exhale, plank, dog, down on our knees, back on our heels, child's pose. Let's take a rest. Let's take some big productive breaths into the low back. Create some space there, stretch those muscles there. And then up onto our hands and knees we come. Hands slightly forward of your shoulders. Let's do a big circle around. You've got a little bit of space between your knees. So you feel nice and solid on the ground here as we move around. We'll circle back the other way. And then let's come all the way back up. We're going to have a seat on our mat. Legs come out in front of us. Let's hold on to our knees. Lengthen the spine, lift the heart. Let's rock back to the sacrum. So we're going to come into boat pose, but you might just stay here. So you should feel your abdominals working here. If you want to move on, I'm going to say anywhere between this and something like this with your legs straight. You could let go of your arms if you want to. That makes it harder. So you decide where you want to be today. Let's keep breathing here. And then let's put our feet down on the ground. Hands down behind us. Let's cross the right leg over the left. So we're sitting comfortably, and then we're going to move into the hips. So what we'll do is lift up through the heart center, decide how your right hip feels. If you need more of a stretch, you're walking your hands in or you're sliding your left foot in. So we're stretching the right hip. That's where you should feel the stretch. You could also do this on your back if this is painful or uncomfortable for you in any way. You know, you're on your back like that, right? So that's an option, same stretch. Let's uncross, and we're going to cross the other way. If you have to straighten your legs to get them crossed, then do that. However, you can work with your own body. Decide how this feels in your left leg. If you need more, you're walking your hands in, you're sliding your foot in. You're lifting up your heart, sending your light, bing, shining out into the world. There it goes. Let's take another breath. And then we'll let that go. We're going to turn our hands around while we're here. Let's do another little stretch for our arms. We're going to lift up the hips. Now, you've got a range here. You can barely lift your hips off the floor, or you can come all the way up to reverse table position here. We'll move into the forearms, into the shoulders, bearing weight on the arms, lifting through the back. This is great for your low back. Breathing. And let's put the hips down. And we're going to cross the legs. I hope some of you, I know some of you have been with me for a long time, and some of you have been doing yoga probably longer than I have. I hope you're feeling stronger over these past 3 years, right? We've been doing a lot of strengthening. It's little, it creeps up on you. Like, oh, I'm strong. Look at that. I wasn't even paying attention. So I hope that is the experience that some of you are having. Let's do eagle arms. So this part of your body, any comfortable position that you choose. If you want to sit on your pillow again, go for it. Inhale, arms are wide. Exhale, left comes under. Wrap your arms around if you can get them there. If not, any position, right? As long as your elbows get stacked. We're going to lift up the elbows, drop the chin to the chest. Relax your hands, relax your face. Breathe into that space between your shoulder blades. Woo! And then let's inhale. And as we do, we'll flap our big wings, lift our chin, and then right comes under left. Wrap your arms around, lift up your elbows, drop your chin to your chest, relax your hands. Every time I see a picture of eagle, everybody's got their hands really stiff. I just kind of like that relax. Like when I relax my hands, my face relaxes. So let's just be comfortable here. Lift up your elbows, drop your chin. Loosen your jaw, big breaths to your shoulders. And then we're going to lift up the arms, flap, chin comes up, and let's float the arms back down again. Drop your shoulders down. Let your right ear drop down to your right shoulder. Let's let our mouths float open, but keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth so you can still breathe through your nose. And then let's lift the head to center, inhale. Exhale to the other side. And then let's bring the head back through the middle. We're going to come to our back. Since I was kind of focusing on abdominals a little bit today, let's take our time. Of course, you can ignore me completely, but I'm going to take my time, extending my arms so they can't help me, taking my time. I got my knees a little bent. You could straighten your legs if you want to. All the way down to the ground. Soft little landing, hopefully. Bend your knees, put your hands down beside you, palms down. With a little bit of space out from your body, lift up your feet. Let's circle the knees with the dual purpose of strengthening our abdominals and massaging our low back. And then we'll circle the other way. And then let's bring the legs back to the center and let's straighten them enough so that you make a little 90-degree angle with your legs, 90-degree-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. Glue your knees and your ankles together. Slide your hands out just a tiny bit more. They're going to help you. And then we're going to let the knees travel part way to the left. Doesn't have to be very far. Just trying to access the oblique abdominals, little basket weave abdominals on your sides. So we're breathing here. Don't hold your breath. And then come back to the middle. Inhale, exhale, part way down to the right. Don't struggle. Let this be a place just where you feel your abdominals kicking in. Shoulder, notice my shoulder has not moved from the floor. My shoulder is stable on the floor. And then we'll bring the knees to the center, inhaling. We're going to circle them again, but this time we're going to lift up our head. Now, you don't have to lift up your head if you don't want to. You can keep your head on the floor. You could even have your hands on your knees. This makes it a little bit more challenging. If it's too much for your neck, put your hands behind your head. And then we'll circle the other way. And then let's put our feet down and our head down. And then let your head just rock side to side, just to loosen the neck a little bit. And then we'll take the hands, interlace them, and bring them behind the head, and just lift your head off the floor. Your shoulders are going to stay on the floor. I'm going to give our neck a little stretch. And then we're going to put the head right down on the ground. Arms slide out to T. With your feet still on the floor, let's just let the knees drop over to the left side. So they're just going to land wherever they land. And if you don't like the way it feels to not be touching the floor, put a pillow underneath your left knee. Your head can turn to the right if you're turning your head. And then take another breath. And when you exhale, sink into the earth. Let yourself get heavy. If you're holding anywhere, holding away from the earth, just let yourself settle right in there. We're going to bring the knees through the middle, inhaling and exhaling. Feet are still on the floor. We're going to let the legs drop wherever they land. Turn your head to the left, soften through your shoulders. Take a breath in and then exhale and get heavier on the earth. Now let's bring the knees through the middle. We're going to hug both of them into the chest. Squeeze and rock. So we get a nice big stretch for our hips. Maybe some of you are feeling this in your low back. And then let's reach for our feet and into our hamstrings. If you want to straighten your legs here, feel free to do that. I'm going to hang out here in happy baby with a little rock. And then let's release our feet. Let's roll to the left. And let's take the right leg and just stretch the quadriceps. I feel like we did a lot of work with quadriceps, didn't do a lot of stretching today. So let's end with a quad stretch. You could have your arms straight. You could have your head resting on your arm. I like to hold my head. Knee is dropping down towards the floor. So if it's pointing to the ceiling, you're not going to feel much. It's for all you skiers out there. And let's release. Now we're going to roll to our back, and then we're going to roll to the right side again. And do the same stretch. So you're on your right side. We're going to bend the left leg. Hold on to the foot, ankle, whatever you can get. Maybe just your yoga pants. Maybe you're using a strap. Drop your knee down towards your other knee. And then we're going to let that go and roll back to your back. So onto your back you go. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Little rock from side to side. If there is anything else that you need to offer to your body, now is the time. Do it. Take a few breaths in another position, or move yourself into relaxation, where we will all meet in the next few moments. Take your time, breath by breath. Find your way to Shavasana or constructive rest pose, or anywhere that you feel like you can really soften and relax and let go. Notice the small, quiet breath move through your body. Every time you exhale, that's permission to let go of something else, something physical, mental, emotional, whatever you're holding on to that it would be nice to let go of. We enter that realm of surrender. If there's anything else to let go of, now is the time. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Now let's let the deeper breath flow into the body, and we'll bring some movement back in. Let your fingers and toes move, let your head turn. And then let's bend our knees one at a time. It's easier for your back. And then we'll roll to the right side and come into fetal position and just be here for a moment. Just notice how it feels. Notice how your body feels, how your breath is moving through it. Notice the energy level that you feel. And invite gratitude into your heart for another day, another yoga practice, for your body, for your joints, for your breath, and for this beautiful practice which brings us together and keeps us moving, keeps us present. And then when you're ready, pushing yourself all the way up, using your hands, push up to seated position. We'll bring the hands together in front of the heart center as we close our practice together. Feel the breath moving through your body. Focus on that. And here, honor yourself for who you are, just as you are, just as you were intended to be. We honor each other in the same way. We honor all people and all the creatures of the earth. We honor this earth and feel gratitude for the many gifts that we enjoy in abundance every day. We feel our connection to each other, to all people, to all beings, and to all things on earth. Let's share our voices in the sound of our practice, in the sound of Om, taking a deep breath together. Om. May peace, joy, love, compassion, and gratitude fill your heart today and every day to overflowing. Namaste. And thank you for joining me today. Let's look at what our creativity deck has to hold for us today. All right. This says, my truth. My truth. I'm the rock star that carries my truth. And I can share that twisty, turny, complicated inner truth with pride. I love who I am, and I accept all the less than perfects of my past. It's the less than perfects that gave me my real story. And when I finally sit down to tell it, I'm going to go ahead and be the hero. And hey, who knows? It just might help someone understand their truth too. I love it. I love it. All right. So everybody have a great weekend. If I don't see you, I will be teaching Saturday and Sunday. And if you, like I said, if you feel like coming on Sunday, please let me know and I'll put you in the class.